Well, the Global Foundries chip plant in Malta brought plenty of new job opportunities with it, but with those jobs comes more people and the need for more housing, as well as an increase in traffic. In anticipation of what the studies show could be a 30% increase in traffic over the next decade, the town board in Malta has approved a plan to put 2 new roundabout traffic circles in place. However, that could require the government to take portions of privately owned property through the use of what is known as eminent domain. It's a fascinating topic, and here to help us understand just what it is and what your rights are in this situation, attorney Paul Harding from the law firm of Martin, Harding & Mazzotti. Paul, good to have you with us.
Hi, Liz. Good to be here.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, I think like everybody's shoulder muscles tense up when you hear the words eminent domain because most of the time, I mean, you lose something, don't you?
You know, it's a hot topic. You want to get a hot button topic, it's exactly that. But eminent domain, by definition, truly means the government's ability to take your land if they find that there is a public purpose, and they need to prove that. But yeah, absolutely, energy's all over the place when that happens.
I would think so. And what about it? I mean, I think that's the thought, is that the government can pretty much do anything it wants. It sounds like you're saying it can't run roughshod over you, but that you don't really have a lot of rights here.
No, they need to prove necessity, meaning that to take your land, it means necessary in order to make that project real. Then they have to pay for it too. But usually when they get you in your sights, I mean, it tends to be going down a path and it's kind of tough to pull back.
And as a property owner, how would I actually know if the government was interested in some eminent domain with some of my property? Because one would assume you own that property for a reason, and to give it up might be a hardship or a problem.
Statutorily, they have to give you absolutely written notice, and then they have to have a hearing. And the hearing has to be at a very close point to where that property is. And that hearing is the critical component where you learn a lot about what they're about to do or what they're trying to do.
And do we know how? And so you say a lot of notice. So you know it's not going to happen overnight.
No, you're given about 60 days, and then you're given another one about 15 days, and they're making you sign. So they want to make sure you know, because statutorily they have to do that. And
what can I do? Do I have any recourse? Can I say no way, don't touch it?
No, you really can't do that, but what you can do is you can go to that meeting and you can find out what it is and how it affects you, because you might get there and say, well, you know, what they're doing really is not that big of a deal, I can live with it, or maybe you can't. But it's important at that meeting you need to voice your objections, because the conclusion of that meeting, they're going to let you know if your property is a necessary property for that eminent domain. And so literally missing that event, you'll miss out on what that decision is.
And is there any legal recourse? And would you have to? I mean, would I have to pay out of my pocket to hire an attorney to represent me?
You absolutely would. The legal recourse is you could sue them, and you could show that they were wrong. They made a decision. But the interesting part is you can only bring a claim on what objections you made at the hearing.
Ah, so you got to go and you got to be vocal.
And you got to be vocal.
All right, thank you so much. That's really interesting. I knew very little of that, other than, as I say, you hear eminent domain and you start to get nervous.
Yes.
So,
Thank
all
you.
We'll see what happens here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul. And if you have a question for anyone from Martin, Harding & Mazzotti, email us at whatare-your-rights@cbs6albany.com, and we'll be right back.
CBS 6 News, the Weather Authority.
Hi, folks. Pleasant good afternoon to you. Lots of clouds out over the Albany skyline at the present time. Something that we'll contend with for the rest of today, and maybe a few leftover flurries, but not much in the way of any precipitation. Hey, one of our WeatherNet 6 weather spotters sent this picture in. He actually took it this past Saturday. He was driving on the thruway near Little Falls, and he got this picture here of these ice formations looking pretty impressive there along sections of the thruway. Maybe we'll melt a little bit of that ice away as we head into the next few days. Look at the temperature trend here for us. Going up to above freezing Friday and Saturday. Saturday could be a 40-degree plus day over the area, so something to look forward to. And that's where we should be now. The normal high should be at 40 degrees, not all these teens and 20s that we've been having as of late. Let's talk a little bit about what we have going on. Cold area of high pressure still sitting to our north. Weak frontal boundary. Note how I've kind of broken it up here, the triangles. That kind of shows that the front is falling apart. But nonetheless, there was enough moisture to generate a few snow flurries and light snow showers over the area today. There you can see them associated with that frontal boundary. But also note how a lot of it is just kind of fizzling out. So we won't see much more this afternoon, but there still could be a few flurries, especially up across the Adirondacks. So nothing that's going to cause any problems, but nonetheless, you could still see a bit more snow in the air. Let's look at the satellite picture. If you don't have any snow falling from the clouds, there still will be plenty of clouds around this afternoon as the cloud cover is still looking rather thick across the area. But tonight, it's going to clear out pretty rapidly, and what's going to happen is that'll allow the temperatures to get pretty cold again overnight. Here's our projected lows. There'll be places like Glens Falls and Indian Lake that'll be well below zero tonight in that -10 to -10 range. Saratoga could be down a little bit under the 0-degree mark. And in Albany, probably just above. We're going to forecast a low tonight of about 3 degrees. But anyway, you slice it, downright cold out there for us tonight. We're going to do a little bit of work, I think, to help moderate those overnight lows, too, as we get into the next few days. Forecast clouds and precipitation. Note a few flurries around into the late afternoon. As we get into this evening, not only will the flurries be all gone, but the clouds will be thinning out pretty quickly, so it's going to be a mostly clear night. Getting into the daytime tomorrow, we should have quite a bit of sunshine, so temperatures coming up a few more degrees, and even more so as we get into the latter part of the week. You don't see much cloud cover noted through the day tomorrow. Tomorrow night looks pretty clear, and it looks like Friday should offer us quite a bit of sunshine out and about the area as well. So how does the forecast come together? Well, let's take a look, shall we? 27 today, a few leftover snow showers and flurries. Down to 3 tonight, up to 28 tomorrow. Then you can see those lows getting up into the 20s and those highs into the 30s and 40s. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself here. Temperatures getting this warm like this. I'll have to put away the extra thick coat and just put on the regular thick coat to get us for a few days, Liz.
I love the look of that 40. I hope it comes and stays for forever, at least. Thank you, Craig. And there's more to come. We're going to go to Mr. Food's Test Kitchen. We'll do it right after the break.